Hi guys, welcome to EduTab. So if I talk about descriptive answer writing, which is a major component in the RBI Grade B examination, it becomes the biggest pain for the aspirants, those who are preparing for the examination. And why this is so? What can be the possible reasons? The reasons can be, sir, I am not able to recall the information, whatever I have read during the preparation. Sir, I have not written even a single answer before the preparation. Sir, I do not know how to approach the answer, etc., etc. So reason can be multiple, guys, but the thing is, if you want to clear the RBI Grade B examination, then you must have good command over the descriptive writing. Without writing an answer, you are not able to clear this examination. This is for sure. So guys, that is why in this session we are going to discuss three smartest ways to score toppers marks in descriptive writing. So without wasting much time, let's proceed, friends. But friends, before starting, an important announcement for you. Those who are preparing for RBI Grade B examination and looking for the information with respect to this examination, guys, we have launched this guidebook at EduTap, which contains each and every information which is required for you to become a RBI Grade B manager, right? It includes the information like RBI is an organization, history of RBI, hierarchies in RBI, departments in RBI. If I talk about RBI Grade B examination, so what can be the recruitment pattern, what is the syllabus, eligibility, cutoff, salary profile, each and everything, right? If I talk about phase 1 examination, so what are the resources that you can refer for the preparation of phase 1 examination? If I talk about phase 2 examination, so what are the resources that you can refer for the phase 2 preparation? And guys, also how you can prepare for the interview and clear this examination. So this guidebook is a very beautifully prepared, guys. You can see here the colorful pages, right? So those who are preparing seriously for this examination, you must have this guidebook on your study table. After that, you do not need to go anywhere and search any information. It contains each and everything. So this will save a lot of your times, right? Which you can utilize in your preparation itself, right? So the thing is how you can avail it, guys. So you can avail it by going to the link given in the description box below and you can download it, right? This is completely free. You do not need to pay anything. Now, let's proceed, guys. So if I talk about descriptive writing, so first of all, you must know that what is the importance of descriptive writing in the RBI Grade B examination. So if I talk about weightage of descriptive component, guys, so here you can see descriptive component is asked in the phase 2 of RBI Grade B examination, right? So here you can see the breakup. If I talk about ESI, you know very well that in phase 2 there are three papers, right? ESI, FM and descriptive English. So if I talk about ESI, so here you can see 50 out of 100 marks are assigned for descriptive component, right? If I talk about FM, the same phenomena is here also, that 50 out of 100 marks are assigned for the descriptive writing. If I talk about the English, right? So in English, 100 out of 100 marks, right, are assigned for the descriptive component, which means that you have the descriptive component has a weightage of 66.66%, right, which is a major component, right? You cannot skip this at all. If you are skipping it, if you are planning to skip it, guys, then your selection chances will be lower, right? So this shows the importance of descriptive writing in RBI Grade B examination. Now, since now we got to know that we cannot skip the descriptive writing component, then the thing is we have to plan it, we have to strategize so that we can score maximum possible marks in the descriptive writing, right? So before discussing, guys, some important points that you need to keep in your mind while preparing for descriptive writing component. Number first is good performance in descriptive writing will only lead to your selection. And why this is so? Because we have seen that it has a weightage of 66.66%, right? So if you are not good at 66.66% weightage, then how you can ensure your selection, right? So this is very, very important that you have to perform very well in the descriptive component if you want to become a RBI Grade B manager, right? You do not need to read anything extra for descriptive component. Generally, what mistakes we commit, we consider descriptive component as a separate component, right? So we say that I am preparing for descriptive component, I am preparing for objective component. This is not it, right, guys? It should not be like that. You do not need to read anything extra, even a single word. You do not need to read anything extra for the descriptive writing. How you can prepare for the descriptive writing? It is an application of static and current affairs component. So whatever static component you are reading for the objective part, and whatever current affairs you are reading for the objective part, you just need to apply that in the descriptive writing, right? After that, you do not need to read even a single word extra, right, guys? I hope you are getting it. Almost every topper has faced the Same phobia, the phobia which you are facing, that I'm not able to express myself, I'm not able to recall the information, I have not written even a single answer before. Almost every topper has faced this phobia, this faced this problem, right? So if they can do it, you can also do it. So be confident that you can do it, and guys, believe me, you can also do it, right? Now, the thing is, three smartest ways to excel in descriptive writing. Everyone knows very well that you have to include intro, you have to include body, you have to conclusion in the answer writing, right? But the thing is, how you can make your answer better. That is the key, and that leads to your selection, right? So if I talk about number first way, so that is understanding the question, which means keywords and micro question, right? So first of all, whenever you see the question in the examination hall, you need to understand that particular question, right? What mistake generally we commit, that we start writing the answer whatever knowledge we have. No, this is not a good strategy. We have to understand the question carefully, and after only that we have to attempt that. What do I mean by understanding the question? I mean that you have to identify the keywords in the question, and also you have to identify the micro questions. If you are able to identify these two things, then guys, half battle is already won, right? Now just you need, after that you just need to present your idea, right? If you are able to understand the keyword, if you are able to identify the micro question, then half of the battle is already won, right? So let's understand with the help of example, right? So if I say, suppose this question appears in the examination, that minimum support price of crops is a short-term solution for agricultural distress, which creates long-term problems. Examine, suggest measures to overcome the limitations of the MSP regime. Right? So basically, what an average aspirant will do, that he will directly suggest the measures to overcome the limitations of the MSP regime. Why this is so? Because this is specifically asked in the question itself. So first of all, what we need to do, we need to understand the keyword, we need to identify the keywords, right? So first of all, if I talk about keywords in this particular question, so here you can see MSP, that is minimum support price, is a keyword in this question, right? And keywords can be multiple, right? So here you can see short-term solution is also a keyword, because it is not talking about long-term solution, rather it is specifically focusing on short-term solution. So that is the keyword. If I talk about agricultural distress, so here it is talking about agricultural distress, which is again a keyword, which creates long-term problems. So long-term problem is also a keyword here, right? Long-term problem. So again, this is not talking about short-term problems, rather long-term problems. So these all are the keywords. And measures, right? Measures, you have to suggest measures. So this is again a keyword, guys, right? So this you need to understand, that keywords can be multiple, right? It is not like that question will have only one keyword. There can be more than one keyword in the question, but you have to identify all the keywords, and accordingly you have to address the question. Second task is you have to identify the micro questions mentioned in this particular question, right? If I talk about explicit questions, so that is mentioned here, that you have to suggest measures to overcome the limitations of the MSP regime, right? This is explicit question which is mentioned in the main question, right? But you have to identify the hidden question, the micro question, which is not specifically asked in this particular question, right? If I talk about average aspirants, what they will do, they will directly answer this particular question, that is measures to overcome the limitations of the MSP regime. No, but if you want to be a RBI manager, if you want your selection, then you have to identify micro question, and then you have to answer it. What can be the micro question, guys? The micro question can be, what is MSP? So first of all, you have to tell what is MSP, right? Then after that, data related to it. If you have certain data with respect to MSP, then that will be better, right? So you can mention the data itself. So this can be your intro part, right? Then second is why MSP is a short-term solution for agricultural distress. Though it is not specifically asked, but if you read the question, so read the question again. Minimum support price of a crop is a short-term solution, right? It is specifically mentioned that it is a short-term solution. So you have to justify why it is why MSP is a short-term solution for agriculture distress, right? So this can be the micro question number 2, right? Then how MSP creates long-term problems. This is the micro question number 3, and where it is mentioned. So here you can see that minimum support price of crops is a short-term solution for agriculture distress, which creates long-term problem, right? So question is specifically saying that it creates long-term problems. So you have to tell how MSP creates long-term problems, right? So this is an art, guys, of understanding, of identifying the keywords and micro question. And last, which is specifically mentioned in the question itself, that you have to suggest measures to overcome the limitations of the MSP regime, right? So here you can see what are the measures to overcome the limitations of the MSP regime. This is very, very important. Those who are able to understand the keyword, those who are able to understand the micro question in the main question, guys, your half battle is already won and you can very well perform in the descriptive writing, right? Now, next is that you have to address all these micro questions in your answer. If you are able to address all the micro questions, then you can get maximum possible marks assigned for that particular question, right? I hope you are getting it. So this is the strategy number first. This is the way, the smartest way number first, that you have to identify the micro questions and keywords, right? Second smartest way can be use of relevant data, facts, examples, reports, schemes, etc. Right? So whatever data, whatever micro question you are addressing, right? There is a two way of addressing any micro question. Either you can use theoretical knowledge, or you can also just substantiate that particular answer with the help of example, right? So if you are simply writing reasons of NPA, right? So that is completely correct, but that not makes your answer exceptional, right? So you have to make your answer extraordinary, exceptional. For that, you need to use relevant data, facts, examples, reports, schemes, whatever you can mention. You have to mention that, right? By mentioning that, you are justifying whatever you are saying, right? Whatever you are saying, that is being justified if you are using these things. If you are not using these things, then your statement is simply a theoretical statement, right? So if you want to score good marks, then you have to use the relevant data, facts, examples, reports, schemes, etc. Right? So through these all components, you can justify your point, right? You may not use all the things for a particular question, right? You may use data for one point, you may use facts for another point, you may use example for another point. But the thing is that if it is possible for you to mention these things for every point, then you have to mention it, right? And if you are mentioning it, you will get maximum possible mark for the question which is being assigned there, right? I hope you are getting it. Now, the third important thing is answer should be multi-dimensional. Your answer should be multi-dimensional, right? You are not supposed to cover only single dimensional, rather you have to cover multiple dimensions. Like for example, here you can see the formula step-ledge, right? Step-ledge. What do I mean by step-ledge? That is social, technological, economic, political, legal, environmental, cultural, and historical, right? So if you are able to address all these dimensions, then that makes your answer multi-dimensional, right? So try to cover maximum possible dimensions. I'm not saying that these all dimensions can be covered in any single answer, but you have to try to cover maximum possible dimensions that can be covered in that particular question, right? I hope you are getting it. So these all are the dimensions that you can cover in your answer. If you are able to cover maximum possible dimensions, then definitely you are going to score maximum possible marks in that particular question, right? So these are the three smartest ways through which you can score toppers mark, through which you can score highest possible marks assigned for that particular question. Right, guys? So I hope you are getting it. I hope you learned something new. So we'll meet in another session. Till then, goodbye and happy learning, friends.